Breaks one, to the right. He's going to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins.
The pass is caught. Touchdown! With 11 seconds left in the ballgame.
And he's got it. Here they come. Cardinals blocked it. It's picked up. It's a touchdown. Cardinals win. How about them Cardinals? Kick is away. And it is good. Drive home safely. Atlanta wins. Kick up, and it is good.
Job takes the snap. Quarterback draw. He runs in. Touchdown, Texas.
Kick is away. It is good.
Great job.
Josh Brown puts the Rams in the win column. Wow.
Breaking news out of Dallas. A broken pinky is going to keep Tony Romo out for many, many weeks for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's head coach Wade Phillips on the news that will hurt the Cowboys' schedule.
The only thing you can do is do something about it yourself, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to band together, pull together. Everybody's going to do their job, and they're going to do it the best they can do it, and we're going to demand they do that. And that's what's going to happen.
That's the thing about a season. You never know what can happen, but you hope to be playing some real good ball when things go down. So here we are, and now we got to make some adjustments and move on.
Right now, we got to get our butts in gear. You know, it's time to stop wondering about anything else that's not going on this field. It's time to get it in gear and strap it up and start playing some football. And, you know, get back to Cowboy style that we know we can play. And it's time to just go out there and play and execute and finish.
Well, here's the Cowboys' next 4 games. He's expected to miss 4 weeks, but it could end up only being 3 games. That's because the Cowboys have a bye in Week 10. The big game that Romo could miss is a Week 9 showdown at the Meadowlands against the New York Giants, who, of course, right now are the class of that division. Welcome into NFL Primetime. Glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo, Trent Dilfer, and Merrill Hodge. Okay, it's a broken pinky finger. A lot of people would say, come on, tape that thing up, play, get out there.
Or cut it off.
Or either way. Trent Dilfer, explain to our viewers why this is a very problematic injury, especially for Romo, because of the way he holds and throws the football.
Yes, it is. And we hear pinky, and you say, well, how can that be that painful? Yeah, splint it up, go play. And that's an option. But you're looking at 2 things. There's 2 fundamental ways of throwing a football. One, a guy that lifts his arm up and creates leverage on the ball with his shoulder and arm and then pulls it down. This is not Tony Romo. Tony Romo has a very efficient delivery. He's very circular, and he flicks the ball, and he does it generating speed with his hip, torso, and then his elbow and hand. Now, what happens in his motion is as the ball goes back, the pinky creates leverage on the football. And as he transitions forward, there's great torque and pressure that the pinky has to sustain on the football for him to control it. If he were to play with this injury, he would lose velocity, he would lose accuracy, and not be very consistent. I think he could play, but I think the discretion here is to let him sit for a little while, let the pinky get better, and when he comes back, he can continue with that very efficient fluid motion that he's proven to work very successfully.
And one of the things that has sort of hurt him over this career is he tends to sail the thing when he's a little inaccurate, and with that pinky, obviously, that would create more issues like that. Okay, so Tony Romo is out for the foreseeable future. It's the way it works in the NFL, Merrill Hodge.
It's
somebody
a brutal game,
somebody's got to step in. That somebody is Brad Johnson. Hey, this is a guy a little long in the tooth, but he's won a Super Bowl. He's a guy that knows how to get things done.
He has respect, and he has tremendous experience. And I think that's maybe what the Dallas Cowboys offense needs, and maybe their team as a whole. When you look at what their struggles have been, inconsistency, I think he stabilizes this offense. Is he going to extend the play and be dynamic like Tony Romo? Absolutely not. But I will tell you this. When you watch the Cowboys play and Brad Johnson is under center, the ball will come out. The running game will be the foundation of what they do with Barber, with Jones. and Witten will be an enormous foundation builder from the passing game. When that ball comes out, Witten's going to be getting it. Does that mean T.O.'s not going to be involved? Absolutely not. I actually believe T.O. could be more valuable to this offense based on what Brad Johnson will do. Now, keep in mind, he's not going to take anything from anybody in the huddle. I mean, he played with Keyshawn, okay? Keyshawn's in the huddle saying, I want the ball. Brad Johnson knows how to take care of wide receivers, lets them know who's the boss. I think he stabilizes this offense. He may stabilize this team based on his experience and what he is as a leader at the quarterback position.
Keyshawn on line 2 for you, by the way.
Keyshawn will be right there, baby.
Your thoughts now on Brad Johnson taking over?
Well, I think Merrill's right. This could be a stabilizing factor for the Dallas Cowboys only if the Cowboys collectively, as a football team, recognize this opportunity. Recognize this is an opportunity to define your season. This is a defining moment for the Dallas Cowboys because now they have to become a team. They have to become a sum of their parts. No longer a bunch of glamorous football players, a true team of substance, a team that embraces the fact that they have to carry one another, play more team-oriented football. If they do that, when Tony Romo comes back, this will be a better football team than when he left.
You know, really quick, Trey, this may be the shakeup they need. Because you know what? They're already in the playoffs. They're already thinking about, we got to just win a playoff game.
No.
You got to win in the regular season first.
They got to get there
and they're
first.
struggling right now.
They are having some issues. They really haven't played well in 3 games. They've managed only to win 1 of them, but they haven't looked sharp since that Sunday night win over Green Bay. We'll show you the highlights of what was a very entertaining and wild game between the Cowboys and Cardinals coming up in a little bit. But first, we have a Monday Night Football game to address. Giants conveniently playing the Browns tonight on ESPN's Monday Night Football. Time for a Teams at 20 update, and we say hello to Susie Culver. Hey, Susie.
Hello, Trey, and this is for our buddy Merrill, because if you ask the Giants what their identity is, they'll immediately say that it's their big physical run game. Let's give the guys up front the credit, because the top 3 rushers are averaging at least 5.8 yards a carry. That's unheard of. So, of course, they have the #1 rush game in the NFL, and center Sean O'Hara says that they've been together 21 straight games, so their communication is so good. Sometimes they can make a line call with just 1 word. Sometimes they don't have to talk at all. It's like a marriage, Trey.
All right, Susie, thanks. You know, Merrill, let's talk a little bit about Eli Manning, because there were real questions about him going into the playoffs a year ago. There were real concerns about whether or not he could be a big-time quarterback. Boy, he went through that playoff stretch, played great in the Super Bowl. We went up there for an NFL Live tour at the beginning of training camp. You could just see there's a different presence about him this year.
You know, and he capitalized what they do so well. I mean, Susie just mentioned the offensive line. That's really where this whole offense starts, how well they play up front. Then that power running game is a big part of it. But Eli capitalizes on their great running game. You can have a great running game, but if your quarterback doesn't take advantage of it, just right after Brandon Jacobs' big run, look at this. Seattle says, that's enough. You're in the I formation, 8 in the box. We'll leave one-on-one on the outside. See if your quarterback can make us pay. Eli makes him pay. He takes that one, did a little stutter go, touchdown. But then you see the growth and the development of Eli in this game as well. Look at this. He drops back. Look at how he pumps to the left. He did that for a reason. Couple things worked here. Look from this angle. The reason he pumped, first, Moss widens the route. Now the pump action. Look what it does to the safety. See how it widens the safety? But with the wide receiver, Moss, widening, Eli pumping the safety and bringing him to the other side, that's what creates that window. When you study Eli and watching him on tape, you know, throughout his entire career, you see a growth, a development as he plays the quarterback position. Is he complementing that running game? No question. But he's now in position where he can carry this team at times. You know what? If the running game's not going, I think you could believe that Eli could carry this football team.
Without a doubt. And I want to go way back. I want to go back to about the middle of last year. I was asked to look at Eli Manning and break him down. So I went back, and he had a bunch of interceptions. So I wanted to see how many of these interceptions were his. Well, at the end of the year, he had 20 interceptions. I broke it down as 11 were not on him. They were the function of a tip ball, a deflection, a receiver running the wrong route. I began to see huge improvement in Eli Manning towards the end of last year, far before the playoffs. And then when the playoffs started, you started seeing a supremely confident quarterback that had total control of his offense, and that's what carried him through the playoffs and ultimately winning the Super Bowl. And what's resulted in this year is huge plays at huge moments of games, especially on 3rd down and in the 4th quarter. He has become one of the best when the game's on the line of making the most difficult throw and putting it in the most difficult spots. And when you have a quarterback like this, you have supreme confidence throughout the day to stick with the run game, to let the big guys keep going, and to get the game in the 4th quarter knowing that your quarterback, like his brother Peyton, is going to make a play for you when it matters the most. And that's the thing I respect most about Eli Manning.
You know, the most important and troubling thing for the Browns might be the fact that this game is in Cleveland. because the Giants love playing away from Giant Stadium. They're looking for their 12th straight road win and their 13th straight win away from Giant Stadium, if you count the Super Bowl, and I do, because it's technically a neutral site game. So they're really good as long as they're not playing in New Jersey. When we continue on NFL Primetime, who had the Redskins in the eliminator pool this week? Nobody had the Redskins in the eliminator pool. That's why you play the games. And a critical win for the Philadelphia Eagles, facing a team that gave them all they asked for and more. And you mentioned Peyton Manning. This just in. Peyton Manning finally looks like Peyton Manning. NFL Primetime is really a work in progress.
Nothing like it, baby. Ain't nothing like it in the world.
Shotgun for Culpepper, rolls the pocket right, and he's dragged down. Luis Castillo threw him backwards to the 15-yard line.
I got flung around, so I thought I was gonna miss him. I spun around, went to throw him, but I slipped. So he was free, and then he started falling.
Luis Castillo shot out of the canyon.
Hey, Dante, man, hell of a fight, man. Hell of a fight, man.
Stay healthy, man. Good luck.
You too.
They've been asking me to do this all day. Check me out. One more time. Come on. That's 3 reasons to pick me. Your move.
To NFL Primetime.
Primetime rolls on. Trey Wingo, Trent, and Merrill Hodge here. Okay, obviously the injury to Tony Romo shakes up everything in the NFC East. So did the by the Dallas Cowboys Sunday in Arizona, where the Arizona Cardinals really punished the Cowboys with their supposed strength. That was up front. But they had many other issues as well. Tony Romo, Kurt Warner, top 2 quarterback ratings in the NFC. Opening kickoff, you want to make a statement, Merrill, and I think the Cardinals made one with J.J. Arrington, please.
And you want to set the tempo. And that's what every coach talks about. You hope and you wish for kickoff returns for touchdowns. But what was most impressive, there were more Cardinals getting in the end zone before J.J. Arrington. That was kind of the first time I've ever seen that.
That was very good. 93 yards. They loved it. Wade Phillips and Dave Campo, yeah, not so much. They really didn't like that. Second quarter now, this was sort of the story of the game. Now, this was called a tuck rule, but the bottom line is here, they punished the Cowboys' offensive line. See, Tony saying, challenge it, Wade, challenge it. It is the tuck rule, but you don't like this rule, Trent.
I don't think anybody likes this rule, but it is what it is. If the quarterback's arm is going forward, really he's not responsible for it after that. They're going to call it an incompletion.
So the Cowboys maintained possession because of the tuck rule, actually tied it up. And after the Cowboys kicked off, oh, we got us a whoopsie this time on the Cardinals kick return. Tashard Choice is the Cowboy of choice that falls on it. So now the Cowboys could potentially, Wade, go up by the half. Nick Folk is from Arizona, and in front of his folks, Stoink! He misses it with 14 seconds on a 36-yarder. The first miss of the season for Nick Folk. Wade says, oh, it's not really one.
Would that come back to haunt us?
Well, I would say yes. You know who really came back to haunt him? Larry Fitzgerald. Cowboys went up 14-7. He's really talented and athletic.
He is, and this is really, really poor defense by the Cowboys. 3 over 2. You've seen the play on tape. They ran it last week. You have to stay outside. You can't let Fitzgerald to the sideline like that.
He's pumped. The Cardinals tie the game at 14. Cowboys are forced to punt. First play of the fourth quarter. Now this is just a give up. Anthony Henry's there to pick. It's Larry Fitzgerald again, Merrill.
A moment of truth. When the ball is at its highest point, this guy right here, Larry Fitzgerald, probably the best in football, going and getting it.
I'm told kids say that's Mad Hops. Jerry Jones is like,
is he a free agent?
We need Mad Hops on our squad. That would lead to a touchdown. Cardinals driving against 2nd and 3. Come on. Come on. And he put his feet in bounds.
Yeah.
Come on, Trent.
Can push him out now, and he tried to.
And his toes grew as he was coming down for the completion.
I mean, he's probably the only receiver that can make that catch with that hit and still stay in bounds. All right, now, Marion Barber with the Cowboys down by 10, just about 2 minutes to play, got them back in the game. Yes, it goes down as a 70-something yard completion.
Get you some.
It is a Marion Barber play all the way, stays in bounds. Now, notice the presence of mind here to put the ball back in the hand away from Montrell roll, so there will be no fumble. But this play was set up by a couple of big blocks, Trent.
Receivers blocking downfield. The Cowboys show glimpses of this type of team football. It just has to show up for 60 minutes for them to continue successfully.
24-21. Now they got to get a stop to get the ball back. DeMarcus Ware, 20 sacks in his last 20 games. He has 9 straight games with at least 1 sack. So the Cowboys now have a chance, which means with 22 seconds left, after an incompletion and a penalty, Tony Romo to Jason Witten right at the 40-39-yard line. Run up, run up, run up. Got to spike it. They got to spike it so they have a chance for Nick Folk. But look, that is Travis LeBoy behind the play injured. So actually, as they spike it, we're going to have an offsides against the Cardinals. Another 5 yards. Wade says, I'll take it because it's a 52-yarder instead of a 57-yarder, and it's blocked. But wait a minute. Ken Wisenhunt called timeout. You see this go against teams just as often as it helps them. Second time around. Hey, like the first time.
Look at this, by 4 yards and 8 inches.
That 5 yards was very helpful. So we are going to overtime, Wade. Woohoo! Well, look at the range of emotions for Wade Phillips in this game.
Talk about emotion.
T.O. had 4 catches, but he's pumped. Travis LeBoy says, I can't believe that happened to me. Cowboys won the toss, so critical in overtime. They're going to do things well, except that the Cardinals again realized the Cowboys aren't blocking. And it was on this series that Tony Romo broke that pinky. They would have to punt, and when they tried to punt, once again, it went down to the same problem, which is blocking. And if you don't block on a punt, you know what happens. The punt gets blocked. That is correct. Matt McBriar never had a shot at it. Sean Moreeeee blocks it. Monty Beisel touchdown. That is the first time in NFL history a game has been decided by a blocked punt recovered for a touchdown. A defining moment for the Cardinals. A bad loss for the Cowboys. Cardinals win it in OT, 30-24. Another weird game between the NFC West and the NFC East. Rams winless on the year, taking on the Merrill Hodges best team in the NFL before this week.
And also remind you, the mentally tough Washington Redskins.
Yeah, not so much. Jim Haslett's first game as the head coach. Chris Cooley, who never fumbles, that one becomes uncovered. First turnover by the Redskins offense this season. Second quarter, Redskins up 7-3. We're going to have some more issues. It's a bad snap. Jason Campbell can't get to it. Chris Long falls on it. The Redskins had turnover problems, and they also had some bad break problems. Still 7-3 in the second. Campbell back to pass. The ball is deflected. Now, good news, Pete Kendall gets it. Bad news, Pete Kendall gets it. Oshimogo Otagwe. Some call him OJ. I give him credit for his full name when you're going to go to the house 75 yards the other way. The Rams led 10-7 at the break. Then in the third quarter, Trent, what is this? It's a Redskins punt. It goes out of bounds near the Rams sidelines. Now watch as Redskins cornerback Lee Torrance gets into it with the coach, Jim Haslett.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a coach you want to get to a shouting match with. He might come off the sideline and do some damage.
He's ready to play now. The Rams, nor their coach, refusing to back down. Now, Clinton Portis did his job, Merrill. You want to talk about a factor back? He is one of those.
And he has been consistent. This offensive line was consistent in this area. Where they failed to be consistent was in the passing game. They struggled pass protected. But you talk about an alley, a seal here, and a seal there. and you got to factor back down the alley and in the secondary.
That is a 29-yard gain thanks to an alley and a seal. Third and 14. Either way, here a seal, there a seal.
And that's a block right there.
That is a block.
No credit for.
Exactly. Antoine Randall makes the catch off the Jason Campbell throw, but let's go back to that block again. It was absolutely phenomenal. He did it all game long. Clinton Portis, again, scrambles in for the 2-yard touch. Redskins up by 1, 17-16. Portis, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. So now the Rams, under 2 minutes to play. It's 3rd and 13. You just got to try and throw something up there. Mark Bulger, don't bench me, because occasionally I can do this. To the rookie, Donnie Avery, 43-yard strike, well within field goal range for former Seattle kicker Josh Brown, but Trent Ritchie incognito, jawing at the ref. He gets a 15-yard penalty.
And they overcame this mistake, but these are the type of mistakes that have cost this team all year long. You cannot have that outburst in that situation.
So it backs up Josh Brown, but thankfully he has a leg like a cannon. 49 yards away, and it's good. Jim Haslett and the Rams win their first of the year, 19-17. Then there was the NFC West versus the NFC East. Andy Reid trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak for his Eagles at San Fran. They did not have Brian Westbrook. They had Correll Buckhalter, and Merrill, that was good enough for a touchdown.
And they leaned on him a little more. And there's times where he does look like Westbrook. I mean, he moves well. He's had knee surgeries, but boy, was he dynamic on the perimeter like Westbrook is. They used him in the screen game and running the football.
93 yards rushing. That was a big screen, led to a Hank Baskett touchdown catch. Now, David Akers, a 54-yard field goal attempt. Max Gene Giles dives and misses his block. Ray McDonald with the block and is recovered by Donald Strickland. We got people taking kicks back to the house all over NFL primetime. 49ers trail 17-16. But then McNabb with time to L.J. Smith, the tight end, for the touchdown. McNabb, 278 yards and 2 touchdowns. Eagles follow his possession. There's Buckhalter again in the screen game, Merrill.
They think the Eagles use this as an extension of their running game. They believe this is a run to get on the other side of the line of scrimmage out on the perimeter.
Then David Akers from 38 yards out. They actually had to review that one, but it was good. Eagles regained the lead 27-26. And then, J.T. O'Sullivan just trying to make something happen. But a defensive lineman, Jaquay Parker, jumps in front of it. Pretty speedy for a big guy.
How about the cutback by the D lineman?
You better watch out. He'll be playing wide receiver for them.
Eagles win 40-26. When we continue on NFL Primetime, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome Peyton Manning, Dominique Rhodes, and the Indianapolis Colts offense to the 2008 season. They showed up only against the #1 defense across the board. Bill Belichick and the Patriots had no answers Sunday night for Malcolm Floyd and the Chargers.
Sunday Night Football on NASN. First up, the Buffalo Bills are getting it done in the AFC East as they host the Chargers. Then in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers struggles to recapture early season form as the Packers welcome the Colts. And finally, the Seahawks travel to Tampa in fighting spirits after a slow start to their campaign. A live NFL tripleheader. Coverage starts with ESPN's NFL Countdown. This Sunday, only on NASN.
Shot from Marshall. Got him. Touchdown.
Down the right side, 10, 5, touchdown. Larry Johnson.
The Oakland Raiders select Darren McFadden.
Tomlinson with a first, breaks the tackle. Touchdown.
Pass on the right side for the end zone. It is caught and touchdown.
Going for the right deep corner of the end zone. Barian's got it. Touchdown.
Gage caught it on a juggle. It bounced away from him, and he pulled it back in. Touchdown, Titans.
To the end zone. Touchdown. Randy Moss. Another spectacular catch.
Cue the circus music because the show's in town.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Michelle Tafoya in Cleveland with a Teams at 20 update. After a Pro Bowl season last year, Browns quarterback Derek Anderson is struggling this season, to say the least. He has the lowest passer rating of any starting quarterback in the NFL, and after 4 games, the Browns have the league's worst passing offense. But head coach Romeo Crennel says he is committed to Anderson for now. He's also told backup Brady Quinn to be ready. Quinn didn't get any extra reps in practice this week, but he did tell me he watched a lot of extra film on the Giants' pass rush.
Primetime rolls on, and as expected, it was a great defensive effort in the game between the Ravens and the Colts, just not by the defense we expected. Here comes Indianapolis trying to win for the first time in their building. And ladies and gentlemen, it helps when Peyton Manning can do this and Marvin Harrison can do that. 67 yards for the touchdown. What happened to Chris McAllister, Trent Dilfer?
Well, Chris knows better. If you're going to keep your eyes in the backfield this long, you have to maintain your cushion with the receiver. He doesn't trust Marvin Harrison's speed. It bites him bad here because Marvin runs right by him, and once again, another perfect ball by Peyton.
You will respect my speed, says Marvin Harrison. Okay, still in the first. Colts have it on the Ravens 22. Pick up the blitz. Chris McAllister now trailing the play for Reggie Wayne, or Corey Ivy there.
Yeah, you get Corey Ivy, who's a nickel back on really your best wide receiver in the slot. It's usually what we call a mismatch.
And then, listen, you like power running? How about Dominique Rhodes?
Hit the C button. Spin, turn, spin. See again, see again, see again. Now we just got to score.
Well, he didn't. He will later, though. Trust me. I have a premonition. 38-yard gain. Now, listen, he was playing because Joseph Adai injured his hamstring. No problem. Marvin Harrison, that's that touchdown right there. Gets by McAllister again.
Marvin wore out Chris McAllister all day long with his route running.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking right there as he's sitting, and they're up 24-0. The Colts are. Still in the third, same score. Colts with the ball on the Ravens 35. Now, I'm sorry. Could that throw be any better?
No, it can. You put this one in your mental bank right here. There is no defense ever invented that can defend a perfect throw, and that's what a perfect throw is.
Okay. And then, you know what? I wasn't lying. There he is, Dominique Rhodes punching it in. First win in their new stadium. Colts win big, 31-3. And let's just delve. Not just go inside the numbers. We are swimming in the deep water. After missing the entire preseason, it didn't come as a huge surprise to see Manning struggle for the first few games. But over the last 2, Peyton looks more like Peyton. 5 touchdown passes in 2 Colts victories. So, of course, guys, the Colts open up the offense against the #1 defense statistically across the board. Can they keep this going?
I think they can. I think you got to realize Peyton Manning has the highest football IQ of any quarterback to ever play. He realizes the Colts are built to play with the lead, so what's he going to do? He's going to come out and play more aggressively early in games.
Yep. 2 things showed up. On offense, they were explosive. They had lacked that. And defensively, disruptive. They played on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Those are 2 things they have lacked that they must play like. They play like that. Whew, look out.
So they're over 500 for the first time this year. They'll try to get to 2 games over 500 when they take on Green Bay. Meanwhile, what about some of those other powerhouse teams that have been struggling a little in the AFC? Patriots,
Let's
Chargers.
find out.
You know, again, good premonition by you. Rematch of the AFC Championship game. Phillip Rivers, I think the Chargers had a game plan for him. Where is Deltha O'Neal on the field? Throw it where he is. Let's see. Vincent Jackson, you're on Deltha O'Neal. Yahtzee. 48-yard pickup, that would lead to a field goal. Again, sense the theme here. See O'Neal, find O'Neal, throw at O'Neal, especially if it's Malcolm Floyd, because this would only be his first catch of the season for a 49-yard touchdown.
Well, what you found the Chargers doing was the Patriots playing close to the line of scrimmage. The deep ball put some air in the defense and let them run their entire offense throughout the game.
Chargers up 10-0, and then Rivers, why not, throw it out to and Jackson again for a 59-yard play. That would lead to an Antonio Gates touchdown. So clearly the passing game working for the Chargers, but the pass defense also working. Quentin Jammer, guys, had a real good day against Randy Moss, Merrill.
You know what? He challenged him at the line of scrimmage, but what I like is he didn't finish, even when Randy did catch a ball. He was around there to swat the ball down and make it tough on Randy all day.
And Trent, you like the way, I mean, it looks like for a minute he's open there.
He is, and this is an underthrow. The thing you got to give Quentin Jammer is he's not a great cover corner, but he has very good ball skills. He finishes plays.
All right, this might have been a critical play. It's 3rd and 8. It's still 10-0. Moss has it, and he just can't hold on to it. They might have been able to score and make it a 3-point game if he holds on to that one.
Here's Jammer doing another good job. Yep. So he sees the ball. Let's turn around there and knock it out.
The Patriots would have to settle for a field goal. The offense really struggled, down 17-3. Randy Moss is wide open, and that one's not even close. Castle says, I'd like to have that one back. The Patriots get it put on by the San Diego Chargers, 30-10. Winless Cincinnati at the Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick in for Carson Palmer. The Jets still went with that Brett Favre fellow, which I thought was strange. All right, now here's a really interesting sequence. Jets driving. They're down 7-0 after a fumble return for a score by the defense. Favre, pump fake, and he's going to throw it to Dustin Keller for a touchdown. But wait a minute, flag on the play. Ineligible receiver downfield, 5-yard penalty, no touchdown. Okay, it's now 3rd and goal from the 9. Favre hits Jericho Cocheria. That's a touchdown. But wait a minute, there's a flag on the play. Offensive pass interference on Chancey Stuckey. Brett Favre can't believe it. Was this really a...
Absolutely. This is not a pick. That's a block.
That's true.
There's a big difference. His arms. Yep.
So if he had sold that a little less, they'd be okay. All right, so they scored twice, taking it back on penalties. 3rd and goal at the 19. Wait a minute. They're going to get the flag here. Marvin Lewis says, come on. Call for an illegal contact penalty and automatic 1st down. So they've already scored twice, and Trent, you're a proponent of those things really counting in their passer rating.
Well, I think more than pass rating should count for your fantasy points. All 3 touchdowns should count for Brett Favre in your fantasy.
There's the 3rd one, by the way. Touchdown right there. Jets finally tie the game at 7. Now, Thomas Jones had entered Sunday with just 3 touchdowns in 20 career games. He got 3 in this game, including that one. Jets are 3-2. They win 26-14. Jets are 3-2, and would you like some frosting with these cupcakes? Look, as we saw on Sunday, you still have to play the game. They play the Raiders. We'll get into that later. They'll play the Chiefs. We all know where they stand. And now they've got the Rams sandwiched around a very tough game at Buffalo. But the Jets could be really good at stringing some wins together if they take care of their business. Still ahead on NFL Primetime, perhaps nowhere in the history of football would there be a mulligan wish for more than the Chicago Bears and how they let victory slip away against the very happy Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, Maurice Jones-Drew, doesn't matter where he plays, he will run hard and he will hit you hard. Just ask the Broncos.
It was a day like any other in Moscow. Thousands of Spartak fans braved the bitter cold to see their beloved team play Holland's Harlem. Spartak were winning 1-0 when minutes before the final whistle they scored again. What ensued can only be described as one of the greatest tragedies in football. The Soviet media called it an accident in which some were injured. More than 300 people are thought to have lost their lives that day. ESPN Classic gives you the truth behind the Moscow football disaster. Monday, 20th of October at 2200 on ESPN Classic.
He's a guy that can ruin a game. We gotta fight! We gotta lay down! He thrives on pressure. This is his cup of tea. So I'm talking about. I think they have a chance to be great.
Don't miss Boomer and the gang every week on Sunday NFL Countdown, only on NASN.
Continuing theme of crazy, wacky, go-nuts games, Bears-Falcons. We'll get to the end in a minute, but first let's begin with Matt Ryan. Don't worry about your hair, Matt. Everything else was working for you on Sunday. First quarter, Falcons up 3-0. It's 3rd and 16. Ryan with a strike to Harry Douglas for 22 yards.
Right now, it's a big-time throw right there.
Oh,
Just to have the courage and the confidence to make it.
Again, Trent's comment was, and there he hits Roddy White over the middle. Trent, your analysis?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is big-time graduate quarterbacking you're seeing Matt Ryan do. Graduate work here. This is not remedial whatsoever.
To Harry Douglas for 48 yards, and Trent's reaction was, Later in the drive, after a personal foul penalty, it's 2nd and 25. You're not going to convert on 2nd and 25 unless you're Matt Ryan and unless you are Roddy White, who is making huge strides in his game. That picks up another first down. It's now 2nd and goal as we move into the 4th quarter. Ryan rolls right, and hits White. Say that 3 times fast. Matty Ryan was solid. 22 of 30, 301 yards and 1 touchdown. As for the way this game ended, wake up 52, you're missing a really good game here. 4th quarter, Bears down by 9. Jason McKee tries to run it in, stopped, so they go for it instead of getting the field goal. And Matt Forte, what ruins the running game, Merrill?
Penetration, baby.
You
Number
got
one
that
killer
right.
in the running game.
Falcons had it. Lovie Smith's team says, why did we let them do that? Okay, so later in the 4th, following a Bears field goal that cut the lead to 6, Jarius Norwood playing the part of Devin Hester. Yes, that is very important. Gets to the sidelines, looks like he might go, but a great tackle there. He's dragged down at the 18. So really, considering the time, all you need is a field goal, and this game's put away. And Jason Elam is so good. Oh, that was shanked out of the 1st and 18th fairway at St. Andrews. That was a complete hook job to the left.
Big fairway, too.
Maybe the largest in the history of the world. Okay, so the Bears are still in this game, down only 6. And a really nice drive here by Kyle Orton, Trent.
Really nice drive. 7 of 11, 71 yards. A great touchdown to basically win the football game for him.
Devin Hester again
developing one of the best wide receivers.
As a wide receiver. And then this throw to Rasheed Davis, touchdown. But oh my gosh, they absolutely let him get back there. It's 20-19. Where was the coverage? Don't let him get behind you. The Bears with the point take a 1-point lead. So now they got to kick it off. And
now
remember
that kickoff return.
Don't give it to Jarius Norwood. So it's a squib kick with not a lot of spin on it. They get it to Harry Douglas, who gets up to the 44-yard line. So really you have time for one play, call a timeout. There's no way you're going to get a deep out. Oh, wait a minute. I think you are. And there it is, Michael Jenkins with a great catch. So out comes Jason Elam. Redemption, thy name is Jason. From 48, it's just good. And the Atlanta Falcons steal one from the Bears. They move to 4-2, 22-20. All right, couple of things to discuss here. The squib kick. People are screaming about it. Don't squib in that situation.
Not in Atlanta.
You say...
I don't mind the squib. I actually think it's the correct call. The problem comes in the execution of the squib. You can see in the highlight, the kicker decelerates as he comes into the football, almost afraid to kick the ball out of bounds. A good squib kick has speed, has spin, and doesn't go to an athlete. And then the Falcons never have a chance to win this football game if they play the proper type of smart defense on the last play. Marcus Hamilton is the rolled up corner in cover 2. All he has to do is continue to gain depth in his coverage, and it never happens.
And when you make mistakes like that, a really good quarterback, a potential franchise quarterback like Matt Ryan, who's a rookie, takes advantage of that. That's what I thought was the most impressive thing. This is the next great quarterback in the NFL. They're doing a great job of bringing him along. They throw the ball on 1st and 10. He holds and manipulates the safety as good as anybody in football right now at a young age as he gets more experience. And think of the burden that he has had to shoulder, not just playing as a rookie, but all the things that have transpired in Atlanta. From the coach leaving to Michael Vick being in prison, he has had to override that. And how you do that? You win, baby. And they are winning.
And it's funny, those are the reasons why the Atlanta Falcons finished last a year ago. Yeah. Oh, by the way, as long as there has been an NFC South, the team that finished last the previous year has always finished first the next year. Said this in April, and people were laughing at us. Falcons in 08, baby. The streak is still alive, and they feel great going into their bye week. When we continue on NFL Primetime, Aaron Rodgers is living proof of the phrase, no pain, no gain. The respect he continues to gain from his teammates from playing with a really sore shoulder. And could, for once, the Texans get a break going their way at the end of the game?
After finishing the 2006 season with 8 wins, Vince Young headed into 2007 as the leader of the Tennessee Titans. Standing 6'5" and weighing 233 pounds, Young combined size, speed, and strength to elude opponents. Last season, Young passed for a career-high 2,546 yards and led the Titans to their first playoff appearance since 2003. With the re-signing of his favorite target, Justin Gage, the Titans should be well on their way back to the playoffs.
Day after day, brave as your life, be the one you never be again. Day after day, brave as your life, be the one you never be again.
Who are you ducking? Coach Carroll. That guy's always competing. You won't quit calling? Really? Hey, dude, you can't take my calls? Oh, Coach, it's the bus. Sometimes we get really bad reception.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Susie Colber in Cleveland with your Teams at 20 update. Before the season, the Giants lost a ton of talent on the D-line. But no problem, because Justin Tuck was more than ready to step in. Tom Coughlin calls the defensive end, who already has 3 sacks, big, strong, athletic, and like the greats, it's as if the quarterback has a magnet in his pocket. Tuck is also smart, so they can move him all over the formation. Look for him tonight, inside, outside, rushing the passer and dropping back in coverage.
Primetime rolls on. The Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. Oh, the poor people in Houston and the Texans. It's been a tragic season. Still looking for their first win. Chad Pennington and company, you're on that Wildcat offense again, Merrill.
Just love that Wildcat. Cowboys might want to think about this, right? The Wildcat, the wrinkles off it.
Why not?
We're going to go with Ricky Williams to the right. And we got that quarterback out there. That guy could help us. Why? Let's pitch it to him. Why not?
Well, why not? Because they never saw it coming. They meaning the Texans. That is Patrick Cobb's wide open. Great formation, great play design, Trent.
It is a great job by Patrick Cobbs going and stock blocking and then going. He does it so suddenly the defense can't react once they recognize his pass.
I like that term, stock blocking. That's very good. Dolphins lead 14-3. Listen, if the Texans are going to lose this game, you really couldn't blame Andre Johnson, but Patrick Cobb's playing the part of Andre Johnson here. Another long touchdown. Who had Patrick Cobbs on their fantasy team? I'd like to know. Show of hands.
He's a sleeper next week.
I was about to say, buyer beware.
He's a sleeper.
And now they're up 14-3. Now playing the part of Andre Johnson for the Texans is, well, Andre Johnson. Boy, Merrill, when he's healthy and he's got a good quarterback, he's great.
A top 5 wide receiver. If their quarterback position was more consistent, he's a top 5 talent, and he is explosive and dynamic.
61 yards on that one, 2 plays later. Listen, it worked for 61. I'm pretty sure it could work for 12. Nice move at the goal line to get in. Texans go back on top 20-14. They're now down by 1 in the third. Schaub looking for Andre Johnson.
Why not?
He got a, no, it pops out, and Jeremiah Bell jumps on it, recovers for the Dolphins. Fourth quarter, Texans lead 23-21. Chad Pennington back to pass. That ball is tipped in the air, picked up by Eugene Wilson. What do you say?
Get down.
Get down.
Now know what game you're in.
No, Greg Camarillo makes the big hit and causes the Eugene Wilson fumble. So, of course, the Dolphins get the ball back. 2 plays later, Pennington scrambling, little pump, and then where is Ronnie Brown? Because he's been really good all year. A 39-yard game.
Is there a more versatile player in football, right?
Not right now. And you know, if he's going to get you 39, you might as well make him finish.
Just say that because he lines up as a quarterback sometimes.
He's been saying that forever, trust me. Dolphins retake the lead 28-23. Okay, but they left time on the clock. 4th and 10. This is it. 52 ticks left for Matt Schaub. Who are you going to throw it to?
Andre Johnson. If you're going to fumble going in like he did, then you better make up for it by making plays like this. And sure enough, he shows up here.
He just takes it away from the defender. He had a huge day, 10 catches, over 170 yards. And then 4th and 2, a quarterback draw. Oh, Matt Schaub celebrates. What a move right there to get in the end zone.
We would anoint him. He would be one of our factor backs this week.
Texans win it 29-28, their first win of the year. All right, Jay Cutler and the Broncos, a sloppy game against the Jaguars. Don't take my word for it. Look at the video. Scrambling, Reggie Hayward gets the strip. And Cutler throws the deep ball, and it's in perfect position for Gerald Sensabaugh. And then Brandon Marshall, who has been phenomenal this year, but slippery fingers. It's recovered and goes the other way to Drayton Florence. 3 first-half turnovers for Denver, and then Merrill Hodge, let us introduce you to the power and glory that is Maurice Jones-Drew.
You talk about a seal here and a seal here, and we have, what do we have, Trey, running down the field here?
We have a rolling ball of butcher knives, baby.
We'll punish you. Look at the power. Look how he presses the hole. The vision. Pull the linebackers over, get to the seam to the backside, and then where is the quickest way to the goal line? Straight ahead, folks, and that's where he's headed.
46 yards, 17-7 Jags. Under 5 minutes remaining. David Garrard with the keeper on first down, but what did Maurice Jones-Drew do here, Trent?
He just pounds that. And you got to love that as a quarterback, knowing that your back is going to protect you all day long like that.
There's a big trust factor in that.
Gets them a first down, keeps the drive alive, and you know what? If he's going to block, give him the ball. 3rd and 4, and I will not be denied. 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maurice Jones-Drew and the Jags win it 24-17. Packers, Seahawks. No Matt Hasselbeck in this one for Seattle. Aaron Rodgers continuing to play through a very painful shoulder injury. Warming it up, trying to get it loose. You can tell it's going to be a long day. Doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers is earning respect with every throw like that. Come on, with a sore shoulder to Donald Driver for 19. And then to Driver again. And then Rodgers rolling out. This time pointing, and it's Greg Jennings down at the 2. Boy, you just love the way he's taking control of this offense.
Absolutely. October 12th in Green Bay should go down as official man-up day, because that's what Aaron Rodgers did. He manned up and made plays all day long.
And a generous spot here on the touchdown. Mike Holmgren says, you are crazy. That tied it at 10. And you know what? Aaron Rodgers, wow, what a throw. And Greg Jennings, that guy is really good. 45-yard touchdown. Rodgers 21 of 30, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 10-point Green Bay win. When we continue on NFL Primetime, Drew Brees' aerial carnage is getting ridiculous. The Raiders have more. Not in this game, but they can attest to it. And just when you thought you were ready to anoint the Panthers as the best team in the NFC South, they played the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Hey there, Horners. You can get your sports fix every day right here on NASN. Why don't you tell the good people of Europe what they have to look forward to, J.A.?
My J.A. Donde Lounge welcomes all nations. We're multilingual. Bienvenue. Willkommen. Bienvenido.
Enough of that. Woody Page.
We reach out to you, and as a Prime Minister of England once said, I will fight Mariotti on the beaches, on the land,
yes, of
in
course.
the air,
Mariotti,
in the
I am the IQ of this program, and Woody is a buffoon in the vein of, I'd say, Benny Hill.
You're losing
you know
points,
Benny Hill.
Mariotti. KB.
Oh, I'm like the World Cup, the United Nations of sports knowledge over here. Let's talk about all your countries. Who do you want to talk about? We've got England here. We've got Italy. We've got Portugal.
The rest of those. All right, that's what you get to look forward to. A mute button. Competitive banter on Around the Horn. U.S. sports at its finest. Weekdays on NASN. Horn me.
Shout out to Amy Winehouse.
Here we go, baby. Showtime. We're going to make every play agile, mobile, and hostile. Give me love on 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me love.
Say something, driver. I don't say nothing, man. I just play the game, baby. That's all I do. Play the game and smile. That's all I do, though. Just play the game and go.
I know you guys know that great things happen on days like this. Great things.
Monday Night Football on NASN. After a shift of power in the AFC, the Broncos will be looking to capitalize on a weakened Patriots team in New England. Denver Broncos versus the New England Patriots. Coverage starts with ESPN's Monday Night Countdown. This Monday, only on NASN.
This is NFL Primetime.
Primetime rolls on. Huge game in the NFC South. Panthers at Tampa Bay taking on the Bucs. A real statement game and a statement made early. Hey, let's have another blocked punt or a kick for a score. Why not? It's blocked. Geno Hayes runs it in for a touchdown. Niall Diggs for the Carolina Panthers never got in front of Hayes. I mean, just free run. Right?
We saw a lot of special teams errors, and good football teams at this point of the season should not have these special teams breakdowns.
Well, it was a tough day for Jake Delhomme. The stats are going to say he threw 3 interceptions, but most of them were of this variety. That's right off the hands of Dante Rosario and right into the hands of Tanar Jackson. That's a tough one to blame on the quarterback.
It is. It's a game of inches, and you saw it twice in this football game where it's just inches away from this being incomplete. Instead, it's an interception.
And Jake says, take that one off and give me the touchdowns missed on penalties. All right, Delhomme looking for Muhsin Muhammad. Again, that one's going to go down as an interception, but that ball's batted up in the air by Jermaine Phillips, who takes it all the way back to midfield. Delhomme threw 3 interceptions on the day. It was just not a good day for Carolina. They were never in sync. Buccaneers offense with Jeff Garcia looking pretty good here. Play action, waiting, and there's Alex Smith, the tight end, for the touchdown.
What does he do so well? Extends the play.
How about win?
Yeah, that's also something he does.
Pretty well, too.
They're up 14-0, and then Garcia to Ernest Graham. He goes right down the sidelines into the red zone. A few plays later at the goal line. He got you there.
Too, filling in for the fullback who got hurt. Steps up. Team guy.
27-3 at that point. Warwick Dunn is ageless. Okay? He is ageless.
Tough.
115 yards. Bucs win it 27-3. Tom Cable's debut as the Raiders head coach.
A new era has been born, Trey.
The question is, how long will the era last? There is Tom Cable. There, ladies and gentlemen, is Drew Brees. And boy, Trent, there's nobody playing better quarterback right now.
There isn't. And what really helped yesterday was Deuce McAllister getting involved early, opened up some play action chunk completions for Drew Brees.
That one to Lance Moore. And then Reggie Bush, you know what? Get him on the edge. He's going to score a lot of touchdowns for you, Merrill.
That is where he is most dangerous. If you can seal the inside and you get him on the perimeter, choose a big play and occasionally a touchdown.
Occasionally is correct, and then he can also return it in the kicking game.
You know something? Nobody manages themselves better at the quarterback position than Drew Brees. I'm going to tell you this. Early in this game, check down. Then he started to go deep. Once he had him underneath,
this
started making them pay.
Yeah, that helps too. What was that spin move you said?
Yeah,
Drew Brees just another 320 yards, 34-3. The Saints run away with it. Okay, let's look at the NFC South. Find me the losing team. Wait, there isn't one. There are 6 teams in the NFC at 4-2. 3 of them are in the South. The Bucs won this division last season at 9-7. But remember, the team that has finished last the year before has won this division 5 straight years. Again, that was the Falcons in 2007, and they are right there in 2008. All right, let the Dan Orlovsky era begin in Detroit. In for quarterback for the Lions, John Kitna out, and Dan Orlovsky out of the end zone. Dan, you're out of the end zone. That's a safety, the easiest sack that Jared Allen is ever going to record without getting within 5 yards of him. No idea. No idea. At one point, this game was 3-2. Middle relief was really doing well. Fourth quarter, Vikings 2nd and 20. Remember the Monday night game that they won last week where they got a huge pass interference call to set up the game-winning field goal?
Incidental. You got to let the defender play the ball in the air.
Gracious. So that sets up this 12 seconds remaining. Ryan Longwell from 26, 12-10. The Vikings improved to 3-3. The Lions still 0 in the win column. Not trying to pile on the young man from the University of Connecticut, but have you ever seen anything as strange or bizarre as that play?
Not as bizarre, but I've done plenty of things just as stupid.
Really? So, how many? No.
There's a lot. Okay. The list is long early in my career.
You know, and obviously I think it looks funny. We laugh at it. But keep in mind, you got 280-pound men chasing you, okay? And it's your first game. And you know
first start, not his first game.
First start. But you know what? I mean, there is a tendency to lose awareness. Yeah. You know, let somebody 200, 300 pounds chase you and see how composed you stay on your first start.
Jared Allen's eyes were, crazy coming after you, Jared Allen. There's no question about it.
Well, break you in half.
Primetime performers coming up. Peyton Manning, Matt Ryan, so many to choose from.
Project who's leveled by Dion Phaneuf.
Dion Phaneuf to the Tower of Power.
Dion Phaneuf just explodes it.
I never enjoy a hit. I can't afford to. I forget about it as soon as it's over. Others, they won't be so lucky.
Monday Night Football on NASN. After a shift of power in the AFC, the Broncos will be looking to capitalize on a weakened Patriots team in New England. Denver Broncos versus the New England Patriots. Coverage starts with ESPN's Monday Night Countdown. This Monday, only on NASN.
The 2007 season saw Eli Manning step into the spotlight. In 16 regular season games, Manning threw for 23 touchdowns, his third consecutive season with at least 20. Number 10, who led the Giants to a victory in Super Bowl 42, heads into the 2008 season with high expectations. The 5-year veteran will look to lead the New York Giants back to the big game.
I got a good one for you. College football Saturday night on ABC. Colt McCoy. With a name like Colt McCoy, where else could he play but quarterback at Texas against Chase Daniel and the Missouri Tigers. Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Prime time performers. We are thinking outside the box, ladies and gentlemen. We are mixing up the order. Trent, what do you have?
Quarterback royalty. Peyton Manning started hot, stayed hot, gave his team a lead. He knows that's their formula for success. I'm going to be aggressive early. I'm going to throw touchdowns and limit the opponent's rushing opportunity.
Number one defense across the board.
Next quarterback in this league, Matt Ryan. Yes, he had great statistics, but it was the last throw he made in the game to give them a chance to win that really stands out to what kind of potential Matt Ryan has.
I'm going to go with the most punishing unit we saw on Sunday, and that's the front seven of the Arizona Cardinals. 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and of course they knocked down Tony Romo 8 times and also broke his pinky finger, which could keep him out of the lineup for up to 3 games. They get it from me. We are out of time. As always, we appreciate you being part of the fun. I mean, we enjoyed it. We hope you did well. Merrill, Trent, Trey, see you.
What's going on? I'm D'Angelo Hall of the Oakland Raiders, and you're watching my version of For Love or the Game between my wife Jada of 4 years.
There's no way that Kirk knows more than I do about my husband.
And my new teammate Kurt Morrison of 4 months. I just give him the look, D'Angelo, and he's already know what I'm thinking, just like that. Let's see who knows me best.
D'Angelo's favorite TV show would have to be Law and Order. I think he's a Law and Order guy.
We're always watching either The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, any of those that come on Nick at Night.
My favorite TV show is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring no other than Will Smith.
Probably Terrell Owens, T.O.
The one and only Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. He's already talked about, he didn't want to be put on the list that I think Chad made a couple years back.
I'm going to probably have to go with Chad Johnson. We probably had the most fun out there on the field together.
If D'Angelo was not playing football, I know for sure he would be in front of the cameras, working for ESPN.
He would try to be a male model, honestly. He thinks he can dress a little bit.
Wow.
I mean, I still give him pointers.
If I was not a football player, I would probably just be a PE teacher, trying to coach football.
Reaching the NFC Championship.
Probably getting paid. That's been a real big highlight.
My career highlight would probably have to be winning the NFL's Fastest Man over at the Pro Bowl the first year I went.
I would probably say Ralph Tresvant's sensitivity. What? Because cornerbacks can be some of the most sensitive guys in the NFL.
Ryan McKnight, I have no idea the name of it, but I would hope he would pick that one.
My favorite love song is Ryan McKnight, Think It's Back at 1. ESPN audience, I'd like to thank you guys for watching my version of For Love or the Game. Love or the Game. With my man Kurt Morrison and my wife Jada. And this is Lil Maya, the next superstar.
Back to throw, throws the right side, and it's intercepted by Corey Webster.
It's been a great career for me, and it's over. As hard as that is for me to say, it's over. As they say, all good things must come to an end.
He's got the itch to play.
Brett is now interested in coming back.
I was told that playing in Green Bay was not an option. Give him my helmet, welcome back, you release me, or attempt to trade me.
We really don't want you coming to camp, and we really don't want you playing anywhere else.
The point is, Brett retired. Aaron Rodgers is the starting quarterback.
We believe this is the right direction for the Packers to go, both now and in the future.
Brett Favre has applied for reinstatement. The stage is now set for his return.
The Packers will have an open quarterback competition.
Quarterback Brett Favre came back to Green Bay.
We welcome him back.
Head coach Mike McCarthy plans to meet with all of his quarterbacks on Monday.
Was he ready, committed to play football for the Green Bay Packers? That's not where he was. The train has left the station.
Hopefully we can get something resolved. I've been saying that for quite a while now. We talked to Tampa and the Jets. I don't think anything has changed.
Favre has now been traded to the New York Jets.
We're all sad to see Brett Favre's career as a Packer end, but we are glad that this matter has come to closure in a way that's good for the team and good for Brett.
Brett Favre is